Hi everyone. Two big updates to check out if you haven't already. One, we launched a 2024 Wrapped on all the big news and milestones and launches of 2024 around AI in education. And two, our AI show and ASU+GSV Summit are coming up very quickly in April. In particular, the AI show is a completely free event, so if you want to go to one of the most exciting AI shows focused on education, would register now. There's a ton to recap from the last couple of weeks, including OpenAI having their big shipments launch. Most notably, they released O3, which is a successor to their O1 model in the final day of OpenAI shipments. What's exciting about O3 is that it's particularly good at mathematical reasoning and programming domains, and scores particularly well on a benchmark called ARC-AGI, which is above the average human. Historically, this benchmark, ARC-AGI, has been really tough for machines. And for some additional context, it took 4 years for AI to progress from 0 to 5% on this benchmark. But O3 most recently scored about 80% or 75% on ARC-AGI under standard compute conditions. And when you put it in its high compute version, it can reach up to 87. Like other reasoning models, it does require more computational resources. So, for example, costs could range anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 in high compute mode. And if you spend up to $3,500 per task, it can actually approach the performance of a STEM graduate. It also interestingly scored around 175th on the leaderboard of Codeforces, which is one of the toughest competitive coding tournaments in the world, meaning that O3 is virtually better than every human coder except for these 174 people. And naturally, this triggered a wave of anxiety among a ton of computer science majors who fear that AI will edge them out of the job market. This release has also been really important because it sparked discussions around AGI, which OpenAI Sam Altman has claimed that O3 has indeed reached this milestone. More to be debated around this. With CES last week, NVIDIA, one of the biggest AI companies of our era, had a ton of announcements, some of which include Project Digits, which is a personalized AI computer designed to democratize access to advanced AI computing. What's interesting about this is it's capable of running large AI models up to 200 billion parameters. And when you link 2 units, it can even run up to 405 billion parameters. It's priced at only around $3,000. And what this means is that AI researchers, data scientists, students, hobbyists can actually develop, prototype, and fine-tune AI models directly from their desks with something like Digits. One of my favorite releases was their launch of a family of foundational AI models called Cosmos, which are a series of world models that allow robots and self-driving cars to navigate and interact with the physical world. It's trained on 20 million hours of visual data, meaning that it can better understand and respond to real-world environments. And what's also cool is that it actually used synthetic data to train these AI systems. So it didn't actually need a ton of costly physical testing. Cosmos is important because it's expected to advance the capabilities of humanoid robots and autonomous vehicles by giving them more understanding of how to navigate real-life environments and recognize physical obstacles. Jensen even dubbed this development as the ChatGPT moment for robotics. In line with the broader trends around agents, NVIDIA also launched their Nemotron models, which are optimized for enterprise use in an agentic AI future. And another one of my favorites is them launching AI that transforms NPCs into interactive teammates. So the last 2 years, NVIDIA showcased ACE characters, where you could have these in-game conversations that were open-ended. You could talk about anything with characters in a video game, and they would have conversations with you that might go off script. That already felt like a huge advancement, but recently they've launched something called a PUBG ally, which is essentially an AI companion that is a co-playable character. So these characters actually can use AI to perceive, plan, and act like human characters. And you can actually communicate with these players. You can give them strategic advice. You can locate and share items within the game. You can ask them to operate vehicles and ask them to do actions. So what this means is that your in-game experience is no longer heavily scripted, and you can actually interact with an AI character through voice commands and have them dynamically adapt to your strategies and goals. Generally, I thought Jensen's framing around how to think about the evolution of AI was really interesting at CES. He starts with perception AI, really the foundation of modern machine learning, where systems were trained to interpret and analyze data. You might think of this as when AI learned how to just sort data. Today, where we're at, AI has advanced to not only just helping us sort information, but also creating information. So creating text, images, video. And this kind of third piece where we're moving towards is agentic AI, where AI not only helps us create, but also helps us do things. So they're capable of managing workflows, solving problems, and complete actions on our behalf. He also frames the final evolution of this as physical AI, where AI systems get a physical embodiment and can actually start to operate and interact in the physical world. And he predicts this timeline to be just about 10 years when humanoids start being part of our physical AI world. Among other really cool launches at the event were things like AI embedded within your TV with things like click-to-search, real-time translation. There were even fridges where AI was used to tell you what ingredients you had in your fridge in real time. And it could also restock groceries directly from your fridge screens because it could identify what ingredients you had and also generate recipes for you based off of those ingredients. Data and privacy were also a big theme. There were cameras and locators everywhere. There clearly is huge interest in facial recognition, cameras, location data. We also saw a lot of AI technologies manifest in physical offerings as well. So we've all seen AI travel companies and startups, but a lot of big tech players are also launching things like AI tourist kiosks. And there was a very notable hand-in-hand growth and attraction around XR meets AI and what happens when you combine the two. And it almost felt like the dream and vision for Google Glass finally came true. There were a bunch of AR glasses and many where, you had a very clear display, but you could have a holographic display that translated things in real time. It could give you a teleprompter. It could give you phone notifications. It could even give you turn-by-turn navigation as you were walking through the exhibition center. Anthropic is in talks to raise $2 billion, valuing them at $60 billion, with a round led by Lightspeed. The valuation would make Anthropic the fifth most valuable US startup, trailing just SpaceX, OpenAI, Stripe, and Databricks. And this just follows OpenAI's October round, where they raised about $6.6 billion and doubled their valuation to about $157 billion. Right now, the Wall Street Journal estimates that their annualized revenue is approximately $875 million, primarily from business sales. And OpenAI, in comparison, is projected to do $3.7 billion in 2024. Largely from their ChatGPT premium sales. Google has launched a really cool new experimental AI-powered feature in Labs that actually builds on top of some of their work with Notebook LM audio overview. They basically use your Discover feed and search history to create a personalized podcast based off of your Google feed. And finally, on everyone's favorite topic of AGI and kind of in theme with what we discussed earlier around O3, Sam Altman has made the bold claim that OpenAI knows how to build AGI. And historically, AGI has been defined as a highly autonomous system that outperforms humans at most economically valuable work. Altman says that AGI could be developed potentially as soon as the next US presidential term, but others kind of have pushed back and says that this timeline is a little bit unrealistic. But Altman also predicts that by 2025, we may see first AI agents join the workforce and actually completely change how companies organize. And because they said they've kind of achieved this AGI, it seems that OpenAI's next step is to focus on superintelligence, which Altman describes as tools that could massively accelerate scientific discovery and innovation. Still to be seen where we are in this broader AGI timeline, but something I'm sure all of us are tracking closely. And that's it for this week. If you enjoyed this, stay tuned. Please subscribe to our channel and check out our Substack, and we'll see you next week.